Well, hello again. I'm just back off my holidays. Do I look well? To be fair, I'm not much of a sun worshipper, but I've come back to this shiny new office. And look at this. I've got my name up in lights. And also, don't forget this. Still very shiny, still very heavy. Anyway, enough of that malarkey. Let's get some transfers done. So before we get down to business, a couple of little bits of information. I've asked the board for an under-23s team, which we didn't have last season. I don't think we've ever had one here at Exeter City. And they've agreed to it, which is great news, because that means now my under-18 squad was humongous. And I was being prompted all the time to bring these young kids into the first team because there was nowhere else for them to go, which wasn't great for their development. They really need another stepping stone. So the under-23s team, great news. And what it also does for me is I'm in the process of putting a management team together for the under-23s team. So that's a coach, goalkeeping coach, fitness coach, manager, assistant manager, and that's going to boost the number of coaches available for my first team squad, as well as the under-23s. 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐿 have issued Exeter City with 3 awards for the season. Sam Nom got Player of the Year, Charlie Brown got top goal scorer, and guess what? I won Manager of the Year. So there's a confirmation. Nom wins Player of the Year, Charlie Brown top goal scorer award, and Gaffer wins Manager of the Year. On a personal level, that's really pleasing. Anyway, back to the transfer window. I have had a look at the squad. Like I said at the end of last season, I'd signed quite a lot of my squad up on new contracts. So I don't think I'm going to be looking to make wholesale changes. There are going to be 1 or 2 new faces, but I don't want to disrupt that team too much if I can help it. However, if we look at the squad registration, I don't have a lot of wiggle room really. I'm allowed a maximum of 22 players. Currently I have 20. I have actually sold a player. So I've currently got 20 players in the squad. There's not a lot of wiggle room there. The only way really of bringing more new players in is to move some of the players out that are already with us. So I've just spoken about a player going out, and that was Will Smith. And he's gone to Luton for just under £100,000. However, I've done a little bit of business. So I had spoken previously about I'd raided some of the Premier League team youth players that had been released. So the first one of those is Josh Johnson, right wing back. He's got some good stats for his age. Dada, another right wing back, came from Liverpool, Brazilian lad. He's got some quite good stats for his age. Andy McManus from Leeds, deep lying playmaker. Rob Cook came from Tottenham. He's a poacher. And finally, Ryan Biggs came from Newcastle, quite a pacey advance forward. So they'll all be going into my new under-23s team. Probably noticed in there as well, 29-year-old Ryan Innes has come from Livingston. If we look at his numbers for heading, marking, tackling, positioning, leadership, determination, jumping reach, the lad's 6'5", just over 13 stone, and he's got a jumping reach of 16 to 19. So hopefully he's going to be my replacement for Will Smith. My left wing back area is, and to be honest, it has been quite an issue for me, because although 𝐅𝐸𝐺 plays really well when he plays it, he's still got a grumpy on. He still considers himself as a centre half, wants to play there. He obviously, even though he plays really well at wing back, doesn't like it. So it looks like I am going to have to move 𝐅𝐸𝐺. He's at the point at the moment of having a massive grumpy where he might even want to leave the club because of it. So it looks like I'm going to have to move him to centre back as well. Mr. Perpetual Grumpy at Medford Smith, I think he's on his way out to Salford. I did offer him out. There's contracts being sorted out at the moment, so it looks like he might be on his way out. So I am in need of possibly at least a couple of left wing backs. So if we just have a look at the squad depth and see where we're likely to be strengthening, if we can, obviously. So striker-wise, we've got Charlie Brown, 𝐸𝐻𝐻, who's on loan and he's going back. I'm going to try and pick him up again on loan. We can't afford to buy him. And Sam Nom. Quite interesting with the strikers. If we look at Charlie Brown and look at his progress, Charlie Brown has been making steady progress. You can see his line there making steady progress. However, Nom, player of the season, second highest goal scorer for us last season. If we look at his progress, it kind of peaked November 24 and then it's been on a fairly downward. There's a little bit of an uplift there, but it kind of looks like maybe Sam Nom is past his best now. His goal scoring attributes would belie that. We'll have to see how he plays in Sky Bet League One. I mean, that goes for Charlie Brown as well. In fact, it goes for all the players, doesn't it, really? Sometimes players can make that step up really easily and other players find it a big jump and just can't cope. So it applies to all players. So if you drop down to the attacking midfielder area, Matty Daly is one of the newer signings. He's not really played an awful lot yet, so I've not really been able to assess him. Chesters, McLaughlin, Iqbal, Wharton is on loan, so he will be going back anyway. So we're not doing too badly for attacking midfield players. Centre mid, McLaughlin, Collins, Bowden, Daly, Osidibe. They're all staying with us, so we're not too bad centre mid. Left wing back, we've got Hartridge and Medford. Hartridge doesn't want to play there. Medford's got a grumpy on and he may well be going anyway. 𝐄𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬, still not really sure about. He's on loan, don't know whether to bring him back. Caprice, his contract runs out at the end of the season. He's only a 2-star. I'm not going to be renewing it. Right wing back, we've got 𝐄𝐩𝐲𝐽𝐻𝐻 the key, Ledger and Bennett. And then in central defence, we've got Stubbs, Mensah, Hartridge, Harris. Ledger can also play there, but we've got the new lad coming in as well. He's not actually arrived yet. Don't think he arrives till the 9th of June from Livingston. And the goalkeeper, we obviously do need a new goalkeeper, whether that's coming in as a first choice goalkeeper or as a backup to Lee. He does look a great prospect. Whether he will make the step up to Sky Bet League One, only time will tell on that one. But he does look a great prospect, and it would be a shame if he didn't get a start as the first choice keeper. But I am going to have to bring somebody in as either first choice or backup. Not quite sure yet. A lot of that is dictated by the transfer market. If there are no goalkeepers around who are any good, then we'll not get one. Certainly don't want to rely on Prestel, because he was a bit of a disaster area. Okay, we've reached the 9th of June and the transfer window has just opened, and the 6 players that I was talking to you about have all now joined the club. So 5 of these players will be going straight into the under-23 team. Dada looks a very good prospect, but I think all the young kids look good prospects. And then of course we've got Ryan Innes, who's coming in as the assistant report as a 3.5 star. But the board seem pleased with all of those signings. The search goes on. I've got an offer in for a goalkeeper at the moment and an offer in for a left wing back as well. Well, as per usual, this transfer malarkey is never an easy thing. The goalkeeper I was after has knocked me back, and another player that I was after, he's knocked me back as well. However, we have signed a new left wing back, 25-year-old Alex Cochrane, who's coming from Accrington. It's cost us 10,000. Board seem quite happy with the signing. Got a 12 for marking, 12 for tackling, teamwork, positioning, work rate, determination, and more importantly, he's got good pace and acceleration. In fact, his physicals look really good. Grumpy Medford Smith turned down Salford, so he's still on our books. I'm reducing his price as we speak. Doesn't seem to want to go anywhere, but he's grumpy with us. What can we do? Not sure whether this is going to have any effect, whether it's good news, bad news, transfer embargoes, all that kind of malarkey. Have a look at this. Exeter chairperson looking to step aside. So it's looking like Nick Hawker could step down sooner rather than later. It's rumoured that Hawker is looking to relinquish control of the club, allowing another member of the board to take his place. Watch this space. Looks like people on social media are not too impressed either. Have a look at this. Kelvin Slaughter continuity is a good thing. Lucas Poulton, this board has no idea what it's doing. We need proper change. Oops. Well, nobody said anything to me, so I carry on as normal. I've just sold Liam Bennett, the 23-year-old wing-back that I had, the right wing-back. Didn't really use him very much. Sold him for a total of 73,000, which is not too bad. Signed him on a free from Birmingham, so we've actually made some half-decent money there. Little bit of profit, never did anybody any harm, did it really? Fixtures have just been announced for the forthcoming season. We start off our Sky Bet League 1 challenge with a home game against Fleetwood. And if you remember, we lost to Fleetwood in the playoff final the season before last. Then we've got Caribou Cup first round. Then we've got an away game at Charlton, home game against Oxford, and away game against AFC Wimbledon. Have a quick look at the media prediction for us this season. Don't think it's going to be very good. And the media prediction for us is to finish 20th, which is not great. I'm sure we'll be trying to do a lot better than that. The media Dream 11, we don't have anybody in. Key players, we have to scroll right the way down before we get to Josh is the Key and Sam Stubbs, bottom of the pile. I must say, I think I'll be quite happy with a mid-table finish, although we will be pushing for higher than that if we can achieve it. It's going to depend on players, more players coming in now. I'm still wheeling and dealing. Deals are not coming off for us at the moment. So again, it's another difficult transfer window, but I'm going to keep trying. First round of the Caribou Cup's been drawn and we're away at Cardiff. That'll be a good test for us away at a championship team. So I hung on for the chance to try and sign a Bo back on and alone again for next season. And unfortunately, it hasn't happened. Norwich were quite happy for him to come to us. It was going to cost us wages, but I was quite happy with that because he's obviously a good striker. And I was quite optimistic about him coming. Unfortunately, he's rejected us. So we won't have a Bo next season. That's a bit of a blow. Well, transfers have been quite sluggish, and I'm just welcoming the lads back for the start of pre-season, giving them kind of the usual, are we going to avoid relegation, blah, blah, blah. And they all seem quite pleased with avoiding relegation. Seriously, though, we need to be doing better than avoiding relegation. That's not good enough for me. We're keeping them sweet at the moment. I'm always banging on the chairman's door asking for, I've just asked him for extra wages for physios. He's refused that. He's refused quite a few things. Didn't ask him for any new coaches, but bizarrely, he's given me a new coach. So the old limit was 5 and the new limit is 6. I've got an extra, I can go out and hire a new extra coach now. And he's also given me a performance analyst and a recruitment analyst, one extra each of those. And I've just bagged my Continental A coaching licence. Apparently the second highest qualification a coach can earn and allows coaches to explore more career opportunities on their way to a Continental Pro licence. So I'll be knocking on his door again now for the next coaching badge. And there we go. You don't ask, you don't get. I'm now studying for my Continental Pro licence. So now the 1st of July is fast approaching and I'll be on the lookout for any decent free transfers that I can negotiate. And more on the Medford Smith saga. Can you believe this? So Sutton have come in for him. I've had to drop his asking price to 20,000. He turned Salford down. He still wants to leave. He's still massively grumpy. Sutton have come in for him. He wants a payment of 18,000 to compensate for loss of earnings. Otherwise, he won't go. Really? My wage ceiling in Sky Bet League 2, well, unofficial wage ceiling, was something around £1,600–1,700 a week. The players I'm getting offered at the moment are anything from £3,500 to £4,500 a week. And we have got an increased wage budget, but not by that much. So I am losing quite a few really, really good players. I have done one deal though. Josh Benson, 25-year-old midfielder, deep line playmaker. It's coming in as a 3.5 star. As you see, wage 3,500 I've had to pay a week for him. It's got the board seal of approval, half decent stats there, taking us up to that next level, hopefully. Well, it is with deep regret, I have to say, I've had to sell a player who I thought I would never be selling. 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 has gone to Wycombe. He's been a really good servant for us. He came through the youth ranks, obviously was here when I joined. We got 190,000 for him. I just couldn't keep him happy though. He wasn't happy playing in the position that I wanted to play him in. He was actually down as a left back, although he did seem to want to play at centre back, but didn't want to play at wing back. It was a really awkward situation. And seeing he was an influential player in the club, I was very concerned that it was going to start making waves in the dressing room. So unfortunately, I have had to let him go. So finally, after failing to sign about 6 different goalkeepers, I managed to sign from Oldham Sol Bryn, 24-year-old goalkeeper, for £94,000. Important player who could still improve, 3-star, leading 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 League 1 player, potential 4-star. He's got some quite decent stats as well, 6'1", 13 stone, aerial reach of 15, command of the area 13, communication 12, handling, kicking, one-on-ones, positioning, all really good with reflexes. So I've now got some decent competition for Harry Lee in goal, finally. So again, after another quite a few failed moves for an extra striker, I've actually brought Terrell Whitaker in. Coming as a 2.5-star, potentially could be 3.5, good 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 League 1 player. I don't think he's quite the calibre that I wanted, but it's been a really difficult transfer window. He's got 11 for finishing, it's quite pacey. 5'9". He's only a slight player, 10 stone 9 pounds, but you can play on the wing if you need a little bit of versatility. These transfer windows, they're never as easy as you think they're going to be. And what probably is going to be the final piece of the jigsaw, I've signed Liam Gordon, 26-year-old left wing back. Potential of 3-star, they're saying he's unlikely to improve. However, he's got good pace and acceleration to get up and down that wing. In fact, his physicals are really good. His tackling's not bad either. Not sure if there's going to be any more business now. We're coming up to the first game of the season. Yes, I know I said it was the final piece of the jigsaw, but I brought another left wing back in, Sereno. Got great pace. I might have to move somebody out on loan to accommodate him, but he looks quite a decent prospect, this lad. They reckon he could be a good 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 Championship player. Look at his pace. Pace and acceleration to burn. Can play on the wing as well if I need to just shuffle things around a little bit. I think we may be done now. Okay, so we're heading towards the first game of the new season now. I'm not going to lie, it's not been the greatest transfer window. I don't think I've been able to bring in the quality that I really wanted to. Players wouldn't come to us. Wages, quite extortionate to be quite honest. Don't know, I can't see the jump between 2 divisions, meaning like £3,000 in wages. Doesn't really seem to compute with me, but that's the situation I've been in. So we've got what we've got. We've got a squad of 22 players. So as we're heading to that first game, just have a quick look at the finances. So we've got 629,000 in the bank. Still got a transfer budget of 66,000. And the wage budget is 64,000, and we're only spending 58,000 of that. So we're looking quite healthy financially. And let's just have a look at that media prediction again, see if the signings that I've made have pulled us up the media prediction for the league placings. And yes, we have moved up a few places. The media prediction now is for us to finish 17th. With 33-1 to finish 17th. We still have no players in the Media Dream 11, but the new keeper I brought in has now jumped in. You do have to scroll down for him, but Sol Byrne there, key players, he is quite near the bottom, but at least he's there. So we've got just around about a week to go now before our first home game against Fleetwood in 𝐓𝐫𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐿 League 1. So I'm going to shoot off to the training pitch now, have a bit of a huddle with my coaches. My coaching staff's kind of nearly doubled with all the under 23 staff that have come in. I've also brought a new assistant manager in, Trevor Carson. He's got much better stats applicable to an assistant manager. As you can see, he's 14 for ability and potential on the judging side. People management, it's got a 14, and he's got determination of 16, adaptability. So he's a much better assistant manager. Hopefully we can work together quite well. So that's where I'm off to now, off to the training pitch, and we'll see you very shortly for the first game of the new season in Sky Bet 1. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed that. If it's the kind of thing that you'd like to see more of, please subscribe to my channel, give me a like, and we'll see you next time for more from me, the Gobby Gaffer.